Ooh, spooky month is starting early this year. I went and saw Conjuring Last Rites with some friends yesterday. I gotta say it was kind of mid. I only recently watched Conjuring 2 just a couple days before in preparation for that. I had already seen the first one a while ago. And 2 is great. Like Conjuring 1 and 2 are really good, and I didn't hear any fantastic things about the sequels. I heard that 3 like mixed receptions, but all the other ones like Nun, Annabelle, and Lala Town or whatever she was called weren't good. I heard that one of the Annabelle movies was pretty good though, but I like I like seeing horror movies, so I went to see Last Rites, and yeah, it was mid. The movie is way too long for what it is. It's over 2 hours long, which I'm fine with a long movie, and like 2 hours isn't even that long. But so much time in the beginning of the movie is just focused on like family stuff. The Warrens like daughter has a boyfriend. The boyfriend like is like wanting to make a good impression with the parents, even though they've been dating for 6 months. So he's like nervous because he bought a ring, and he like goes to the parents and he's like, I bought this ring a week after I met your daughter, and then I waited 5 months and I'm asking for your blessing or whatever. And it's just like this is a Conjuring movie, not a romance movie or like family drama. I think the family stuff is done well, like with the Warrens family, like Ed Warren, it's his birthday, so they have a lot of family members come over. And like I said, Judy's the daughter. Like her and her boyfriend, like their dynamic and their dynamic with the parents and the rest of the family is like pretty good. Like I do think it's done well. It's just that it doesn't mean anything in the movie. Like the point of the movie is the conjuring of the devil, the demons and the spooky happenings. Ooh, it's like if my goal was to make money, like 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 I'm going to work, I'm trying to make money and saving up for something, and then I go spend 45 minutes planting a garden, and it's like, yeah, the garden's nice. I got a flower to bloom or like some potatoes to sprout. I don't know if potatoes sprout, but like yeah, that's cool. It's well done, but it has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do with making money at work. And like I didn't think the scares were all that cool. There's one part where Annabelle shows up out of nowhere. I don't even know why Annabelle is there. Um, but she like is in the corner. She's a scary doll. Ooh, look out, Judy. She's gonna get you. And like she starts growing, and it's kind of in that stop motion esque type way, which I really enjoyed when they did that in Conjuring 2 with the Crooked Man. I really like seeing the Crooked Man move because he was like someone straight out of like Nightmare Before Christmas. And they do a little bit of that. Like it's kind of like in your peripheral vision. Like it's not quite there. It doesn't quite show it. And like other scares, other like spooky happenings are all right. Like they happen. They're far in between though, especially near the beginning. And it takes forever for the Warrens to like get over to the family that's experiencing the spookiness. And that does happen in Conjuring too. Like it probably takes like the entire first hour before they even get there. But at least in Conjuring 2, spooky things were happening consistently to the family as well as the Warrens. They were experiencing their own like problems that do end up coming into play later in the ending, like setup and payoff. And just in Last Rites, there's not really that setup and payoff. It's just little scares or like little payoff, and that's kind of it. Um, I will say something that I do want to point out, some praises that are definitely worth singing for this movie is that at the beginning of the movie there is a flashback to Ed and Lorraine Warren on their first case, and they don't de-age the actors. They choose different actors, and these actors are spot on. They look exactly like what you would envision younger versions of them look like. They were great. And that was something that I thought, where it was like, when I saw the first trailer for Last Rites, it's like the case that ended it all. And I was like, oh, okay, that seems pretty cool. Like, just it be something a bit more, like, it's got more importance to it. It's got more impact to it, which I'll touch on later, whether they did that or not. And then the second trailer comes out, and it's like, this was the first demon that we ever encountered, and whatever. And I flash back to that, and I personally didn't like that choice, because you could have left that door open for a prequel movie that it could have done. I would have absolutely dug a prequel movie, like, with these actors that they chose to play the younger versions of them. I would have ate up like a prequel Conjuring movie where they encounter their first demon. But that idea was taken away and used to make Last Rites more of something, and I don't even think that it really did that much. Like, the demon's a mirror, kind of. It like there's a it's a scary mirror, and it's got like babies on the top of it, like baby head, like statue things on the border or whatever, and there's like things inside the mirror that barely come out, but they also, like, they're using other spirits that were in the house or whatever as their, like, goons. And it's like in Conjuring 2, there's like Valak, I think, the nun demon, was like using the old man Bill, I think what his name was. And like there was more to that than this, because in this movie, the like family spirits that the mirror uses might as well be the same spirits as they're in the mirror. There's not like any point to them being different. There's nothing to them being used by the demon. Um, like like I said, a lot of the scares they're just have no impact like they did in Conjuring 1 and 2. It The ending, I think, is pretty good. Like, I was hoping that I could find like a 3.5 out of 5 movie. And like the ending, if it would have kind of stuck with that kind of flow for the whole movie, but maybe it would have been 30 minutes shorter. It probably could have reached that. And like, to touch on the whole idea of this being the last one, it it doesn't feel like this is the case that ended it all. Like, I don't understand why this case, out of all cases, was their last case. Because they, throughout the movie, they're like, yeah, we're not taking cases anymore because something's wrong with my heart, and I gotta get that settled down before I encounter any of those spooky demon guys. Um, and then they go do this case anyway because of the events of the movie, and then they go home and they just keep doing the same thing. Like, there's not a change. This case doesn't feel like that it affected them really. Like, it seemed, out of anything, it affected the daughter more. And I would have understood if it was like, now the daughter's going to pick up where they left off or something like that. Like, I could see it being like a passing of the torch type movie. They do a little bit of that because there's like the keys to the spooky dungeon where they have all their spooky artifacts in their house. Like, they keep it locked up because like sometimes if you destroy them, it makes the situation worse, or sometimes you can't destroy them, so we'll just keep the genie in the bottle. Oh, like Ed tosses the keys over to boyfriend Tony, I think his name was, and he's like, "Welcome to the family." I don't know why I keep changing voices for everybody. Regardless, like like I said, there's just no impact to this being the last case. I was hoping that there was going to be some impact with that. I was thinking that they were going to kill off somebody, like they were going to kill off Ed or Lorraine. But they just, like, didn't do that. But like, the movie's mid. It is elevated by, like, number one, Ed and Lorraine are just great characters. they're just they're just fun to see on screen. They feel like real people that you would have known. And I think that's something that I noticed with the Conjuring 2 when I watched that recently. And then I was glad to see that they kind of kept the same thing with this one, was that it's not just a horror movie. In Conjuring 2, there's the scene where sings Elvis to the kids. There's like some more like actiony, urgent like type things they do, like driving the car and stuff like that. Like there's there's more to the movie than just scary things happening, which makes it more of a movie. You're able to go from one feeling to another, kind of like a roller coaster. Like a lot of horror movies, even the great ones, are all one note, maybe two for like the satisfying ending, and some of them don't even do that. Some of them are just the one note of everything's bad, everything is scary, everything's horrible. And at least with the first two Conjuring movies and this one, like there's more to the movie than just scary stuff, which makes it more watchable. However, it just wasn't great. So yeah, like I think 3 out of 5 stars is good, and that's like if this would have been any other throwaway horror movie, it probably would have been lower. It's only elevated by the fact that it's in The Conjuring. That's why it's making so much money right now. So if you really like the Conjuring movies, if that's like one of your favorite franchises, I'd say watch it because it does have a pretty happy ending to it, which I'm like glad to see. I really don't like it when horror movies try and end like they pull the rug out from you under it, like from the victory, and they just go like, it's bad. I did enjoy that it was a very happy ending. It just didn't feel like that happy ending was earned throughout the events of the movie itself. So like I said, if you like the Conjuring movies, or if you just like really like horror movies, like I'd say watch it, but stream it. If you don't really care much for seeing another Conjuring movie or another horror movie, I'd say probably skip this movie entirely. Not the worst thing. It's watchable, but it could have been better, and I wish it was better. But yeah, that's about it. Bye bye.